Sportsbook gives the Suns the third best odds to win the NBA title next season at 6-1.
Coming up Tuesday, now that the Heat missed out on Bradley Beal, just how much pressure is on Pat Riley to go get Damian Lillard? Keyshawn, J. Willimax, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Jacob Beck. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Hope all the dads had a happy Father's Day. The Tigers winning on Saturday night made it a much better weekend for all of us. We'll get into that. We will preview tonight's game, LSU-Wake Forest, the game that quite literally every baseball fan wanted to see throughout the course of this season. We are going to be treated to it tonight. Not the championship series, but one that will go a long way in determining which team gets there. We'll start with LSU and Tennessee, and then in about 12 minutes from right now, we're going to talk to Mr. Foreman, who covers Wake Forest. Yuso looked at the rundown and saw that said Tom Skip Foreman, Tom/Skip Foreman. Said, well, which is it? I said, I don't know. His byline is Tom. His email is Skip. So
Tom Skip.
I'm gonna need
Skip Tom.
I'm gonna need you to ask Tom or Skip which he would prefer to be called on air.
Yes.
That would be much appreciated. But he, Mr. Foreman, is coming up in about 12. Mr. Foreman, who covers Wake Forest, is going to join us in about 12 minutes from right now. We look forward to that. Okay. Sometimes you wonder if your biggest stars will show up on the biggest stage. LSU certainly answered that question on Saturday night. Paul Skenes was awesome. And I was thinking about this because during the game, a lot of you were tweeting me, and then I fired a post-game stream, and a lot of you were commenting on how many times you heard the word velo and different things like that on Saturday. You got to remember, as baseball absorbed, college baseball absorbed as we are here, the rest of the country isn't. So a lot of people have probably heard Paul Skenes' name, but they weren't seeking out the ESPN Plus stream to watch LSU against Central Connecticut back in February. You know what I mean? This was served to them on a platter Saturday night in June at a rain or lightning delayed time of 6:40 on the mothership right there, and you're looking at Paul Skenes. And a lot of people go, oh, I'll stick around and watch this. Cool. So a lot of people got to watch Paul Skenes for the first time, and Paul Skenes did what we have seen him do all year. He shoved 7 2/3, 2 runs, 5 hits, 12 strikeouts, and a walk. And, of course, your other Giant star, Dylan Cruz, was 2 for 5 with a run scored, and everyone contributed. Before I go any deeper, let me hit the drop that I'm supposed to hit before I start. Yeah, go ahead. There it is.
It's time to pop the top.
My bad.
On another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
By the way, our friends at Mockler Beverage on Friday gave away 2 pair of tickets to the LSU-Tennessee game. Hit me up today. They got another 2 pair for today. So text me, hashtag BeatWake, BeatWake, hashtag BeatWake, and at the start of the 5 o'clock hour, we'll give away 2 pairs. So if you're in Omaha or know someone who is, hashtag BeatWake, text me in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, and you could win one of 2 pair of tickets to tonight's game between LSU and Wake Forest. let's delve into the game. Jay Johnson opened up with his thoughts on the win against Tennessee.
Great night tonight. Unbelievable crowd. I think two things really stand out. Our team was locked in from the first pitch. Talked a lot about just focusing on execution, and they did that really, really well. And this time of year, you win these games against these elite teams when great players play great. And that was certainly the case with Paul from the mound tonight, Braden, Gavin from the batter's box. I thought it was a really solid game. Thought we played clean baseball, and our guys were guys. And that's what it takes to win games here.
Our guys were guys. And he couldn't be any more right about that. And it leads with Paul Skenes, who was awesome. I know none of us want to think about this, and at the right time we can give this proper context, but Saturday could have been Paul Skenes' last outing as an LSU Tiger. Again, no one wants to think about it because you're 1-0, you're playing tonight against Wake, and none of us want to jump to that conclusion. I'm not doing that here. We've got this game to watch tonight and then at least one more. But if it doesn't go LSU's way, that could be the last time we see Paul Skenes, and if that is it, what a fitting way for his time at LSU to end. Now, my hope is LSU wins tonight. They win again on Wednesday, and we see Paul Skenes on Saturday shoving in the first game of a championship series, and he gets to go do it and break Ben McDonald's strikeout record and punctuate the greatest season we've ever seen from a pitcher at LSU. But we got to see Paul Skenes do what he has done as a model of consistency all year. In that first inning, think about him working around that contact. Maui Ahuna worked a full count against him. It was just heavy fastballs early. And then I'm not going to say he got barreled up. Ensley hit the ball to short that Thompson got to, but couldn't make the play. And then Dickey hit the rocket. What did they say it was off the bat? Like 112, 114 off the bat, right at Tommy White. You know, if White doesn't get to that ball, maybe that's a double down the line. It's second and third with one out. Maybe it's a different. So maybe, but it's not. So Tommy White made the play. Of course, Skenes gets more to strike out than he was off and running from that point. Skenes was awesome. As far as the only other pitching decision made, in the eighth inning with 2 outs, I loved the decision to go to Gavin Guidry. And I tweeted that, and one pitch later, he gives up a bomb to center, and a lot of you clowned me. But I say it all the time. As long as in baseball you have sound logic and reasoning behind the decision you make, you live with the result. And I can live with that result because you were through 7 2/3. Ensley was up. It's a righty. You had a righty and a lefty in the bullpen, Guidry and Cooper. You went righty to go righty on righty. And Guidry is a guy who's going to lead with off speed. He throws 70% breaking balls, and he threw a breaking ball that didn't break. He threw on belt high, and the kid crushed it. So, like, tip your hat to Ensley. Guidry didn't make the pitch, and Ensley didn't miss it. So it doesn't mean it was the wrong decision by Jay. I think it was the right decision in that moment. And then, you know, obviously, you go and get Riley Cooper to face Dickey, and so you go lefty there, and you get the out. So, I just thought the way that they managed the whole thing was great. LSU managed the crowd, they managed the emotion. Paul Skenes was awesome. Everyone in your lineup hit. There were only 2 guys in your starting 9 that didn't get a hit, but that was Stravinsky, Beloso, and both walked. So all of your starting 9 got on base. You touched up Halverson, their best reliever, in the 6th. That's when Joe Bear got the RBI triple and Thompson got the RBI single on the infield. The thing that has been the hallmark of this team is that 1 through 9, they are relentless. There is no easy out in this lineup, and that proved to be the case again on Saturday. So it's the thing we've talked about a lot with this team. You got to stay in the winner's bracket, and LSU got themselves off to a great start in doing just that on Saturday. You beat Tennessee. Now you get to play Wake Forest. You win this game tonight. You get Tuesday off. You play again on Wednesday against either Wake or the winner of the game that's going on right now with Tennessee and Stanford. They're tied at 4 in the 6th. But, you know, this is it. This is the night of the season that we have all looked forward to. It's LSU, it's Wake. It's the team that started the season number 1. It's the team that finished the season, regular season number 1. The 2 best teams in college baseball playing in Omaha to put themselves in the driver's seat there at the College World Series. What more could we possibly want than what we're going to see tonight? So hopefully we're treated to great theater and an LSU win. Let's find out a little more about Wake Forest. We'll talk to Tom Foreman, or maybe Skip Foreman, depending on what he wants to be called. But his byline is Tom Foreman, so I'm going to go with Tom, unless he says he wants to be called Skip. So we'll do that when we come back. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows, and our show open every day, brought to you by our friends over at Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana. Make sure you check out the camouflaged aluminum bottles as well. Remember, every camouflaged aluminum bottle of Budweiser, Bud Light that you see, a portion of that sale goes to Folds of Honor. And Folds of Honor, of course, raises money to fund scholarships for the children of our fallen war heroes in the 13th year now of Anheuser-Busch and Folds of Honor being in partnership, and they've raised $21 million to fund scholarships for the children of our fallen war heroes. A few more admirable missions than that. So there's also a QR code on those aluminum cans, or on the aluminum bottles that we talked about, so you can learn more about Folds of Honor. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll head up to Omaha next. Stick around.
AFR.
If you are not in Omaha and you're looking for the best place to watch the game tonight, where else would you go but Pluckers? Either location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. Dine-in, carry-out, or delivery, Uber Eats, DoorDash. I actually had lunch over at Pluckers today, the Nicholson location. The Brain and I fired him enough times that I guess it was worth me going to buy him lunch at least once. So Brain and I went, and we had each had a blue cheese chicken Cobb salad. But maybe tonight for the game, you want to go dive on in to all-you-can-eat wings, ice-cold draft beer, and watch LSU beat Wake Forest. There's no better place to do it than at Pluckers. Again, Nicholson just south of campus, Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. LSU-Wake starts at 6 o'clock. You got, of course, Tennessee and Stanford on right now. You got a full night of Major League Baseball games. And every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pay one low price, eat as many wings as you want all night long. So get there early, stay there through the game and beyond. It's at Pluckers. 2 locations, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. Remember, at Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind. When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, let's head up to Omaha. LSU and Wake Forest. We are less than 3 hours away from first pitch. Find out a little more about tonight's opponent. Skip Foreman, good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes to talk a little College World Series in Wake Forest. Skip, we appreciate a couple of minutes. How are you?
Thank you for the invite. Glad to be here, feeling good, and it's 92 degrees, and I'm also feeling warm.
Wait, is it 92 in Omaha? How is that possible?
I know, hard to fathom, isn't it?
Oh, man. Well, LSU probably feeling right at home in those sultry temps right now. Hey, this the Saturday game for Wake probably didn't go exactly as scripted. Tom Walter even said it after the game. Can you give us a sense of the feeling around that team right now after being pushed the way they were Saturday?
I think the push that they felt was the fact that they weren't able to get Brett Lauder on his absolute best day. He struggled with it, struggled early, gave up the early run, but he didn't give up the damaging inning that could have led to a big problem. Even Tom Walter mentioned that it could have been 4-1 to 5-1 at some point in that game, and they would have been in a little bit of a bother because they weren't reaching the Stanford bats. Compound that with the fact that they had scoring opportunities in the middle innings but couldn't produce a run. If Brock Wilken hadn't hit that homer in the second inning, it would have been an issue for them to try to mount a comeback. They're not used to comeback. They're used to taking command and making you chase them. And they weren't able to do that. But the key factor, and everybody's pointing to this, the 88-minute weather delay. It was a weather delay with no weather. The report of lightning, we only saw one bolt from our seat in the press box. So it's like, okay, they say it's around here somewhere, and the rule is within 8 miles of the stadium, they stop the game. But if it was within 8 miles, it wasn't visible within 8 miles. So that had something to do with it. And if you remember, they had a 4-hour weather delay in the regional, and then they came out at 10:45 p.m. on a Saturday night and hung 21 on Maryland. So, you know, if you believe in omens, the weather delay was to Wake Forest benefit because it maybe allowed them to relax, regroup, refocus, and we see the result.
Is Josh Hartle going to get the ball tonight? I think that's everyone's assumption.
That's what we're hearing until anything else changes. We think he's going to get the ball. Don't know that they're going to dive any deeper. They limited the use of the bullpen on Saturday. So he should get the ball, should be ready to go. I'm thinking they'd like to keep the use of the bullpen to a minimum and get 6 or 7 innings out of Hartle and just leave it to the guys in the pen to finish the job.
Skip, look, I can look at Josh Hartle's stats. I can look at some clips. You've seen him throughout the course of this season. You got a lefty with a 2.8 ERA and 131 strikeouts. If you were to describe the challenge LSU has tonight against Josh Hartle, how would you describe that?
You're challenging a guy who, with his record, is the second best pitcher on the staff, and you're just going, he's second. Right. But he is. And the reason is Wake Forest, when their bats are going, they give your pitchers a lot of comfort. These guys have worked a pitching lab at their school that has honed those arms to a fine level. And it's allowed people like Hartle to thrive, Brett Lauder to thrive. I mean, Sean Keener's the third starter who they bring out of the bullpen, and it helps them out tremendously. Then it sets up Sean Sullivan to take an inning and Cam Manassi to finish it. So the key to Wake Forest and what will likely have to happen for LSU to win is to get to Hartle early and put up a decent number of runs to force Wake Forest to go to his bullpen and maybe extend it more than Coach Walter would like.
Has anybody been able to do that successfully?
Not lately.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 5-4 victory over Alabama, it was limited in a 5-4 game. So you look at that, and then Sunday, the 22-5 game, they really didn't need the bullpen other than to get a little bit of work. And nobody's really stressed this pitching staff consistently. They've not gone multiple games where they've had to extend their bullpen or try to squeeze out 6 innings out of their pitcher. It's just a strong pitching staff. It's a deep pitching staff, and they've befuddled more than a few people so far. The way they throttled Alabama, it was kind of remarkable, because I was having a conversation the other day. It's a Southeastern Conference school. When you face them, you immediately recognize you're encountering a level of talent that you're expecting to have trouble with. The conference is good. LSU is good. They've got a history in the World Series. And you just want to be ready for that, because it's not going to be a walk in the park. The air is a little thinner in Omaha. You mowed down some people, you gritted out some games, but now you've got to grit out a little harder, because it's just a new day, it's a new level of competition, and your A game has to be in play.
I got a couple more for you, Skip, if I could. Skip Foreman's our guest, covers Wake Forest for the Greensboro News and Record. When the Wake Forest offense obviously has been magnificent, when they have struggled or been limited, what has been their undoing? What have teams done well against them?
Well, it's basically pitching. Their problem is they have been hitting balls at people. When they don't score runs, it's because they get good aluminum on the ball. I hate saying that, but they get and make good contact, but at somebody. When they struggle, they just are victims of a bad break in the direction of the ball. Their other problem is they have at times left a lot of people on base. Like I said, in the Stanford game on Saturday, they squandered scoring opportunities that could have turned the game around. When they're not on, it's a challenge for them to get runs for whatever reason. They just, I don't want to say snake bit, but they just have a little bit of a challenge if they can't get their bats going early. If they get to hitting from the outset, then LSU is going to have to dig into its bullpen, and I've heard people tell me that's a little bit of a source of concern for them. And it may be a situation where if Wake starts teeing off early, it becomes contagious. I mean, in the second Alabama victory, Merrick Houston, the shortstop and the ninth place hitter, hit a grand slam. So in that instance, if you get Wake Forest in a groove early, you're going to be playing catch up. If you can get them to put the ball in play or hit it at people, the way it shakes out, it's going to be a grind for them. It's going to be a struggle, and especially if they're not keeping the other team in check.
Skip, before you go, man, are you also covering the Jell-O Shot Challenge?
I was at Rocco's on Sunday. It was a bit of fun, wall-to-wall people, and I countered this LSU fan who was adamant that they were going to pass Ole Miss for the number of Jell-O shots, because the guy basically said, we cannot lose, especially lose to Ole Miss. They're not going to suffer that. So I think they were at 10,000 plus this morning at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And as long as LSU is here, and maybe if LSU isn't here, they're still going to go after the record. So 17,000 and change is the mark. So we'll see where they are come Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, man. Elimination in the next 2 days is about the only thing that could protect that record. But I got a feeling it's going to fall no matter what.
Yeah, but look at it this way. Even Oral Roberts is on the board.
Yeah.
People took pity on Oral Roberts for the obvious reason, and they're in sixth place. Oral Roberts. Let that sink in for a minute.
Shame on Tennessee and Florida. They're not living up to the SEC standard.
Nope.
Skip Foreman from the Greensboro News and Record. A few minutes here talking about Wake Forest. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Take care.
That's our pleasure. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com. Yo, we are creeping up on the 4th of July. A lot of people hit the road for the 4th. Maybe it's at family vacation this holiday. Make sure you get out to our friends at Shawbills. If you need new tires on that vehicle, you got to go to Shawbills, because when you go to Shawbills, they're going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. They're going to treat you like family, and you get the Charlie's Dozen. That's a dozen benefits to buying your tires at Shawbills, not only extended to just your vehicle, but every vehicle in the family. That's Shawbills. So get to ShawbillsTire.com. You can hit the promotions tab right there at the top. You can see all of the benefits that they have there for doing business at Shawbills. You can, again, also learn more about the Charlie's Dozen and all the benefits extended to you and your family when you buy your tires at Shawbills. You can schedule service online. You can shop tires online. You can chat with an associate online. They make it so easy. It's ShawbillsTire.com with 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. All right, it is After Further Review. I guess if I had a big takeaway from the conversation there with Skip Foreman, it's get to Wake early and don't let them get to you early, which kind of tells you if it is, in fact, Ty Floyd that's going to start for LSU today, and we don't know that yet, but if it is, in fact, going to be Ty Floyd, I can't help but think back to, say, like the Arkansas game, where he got in some trouble early. He gave up the 2-run homer in the first, but after that, he was nails and got you 6 1/3, pitched into the 7th inning. After a 30-plus pitch first inning. It would stand to reason something like that probably wouldn't play against this Wake Forest team. Get out there, throw strikes early, get back in the dugout, and when you have your chances to get on the board early in the game against Wake, you do it. You get Hartle out of the game, you get into their bullpen. So 6 o'clock, first pitch. We're 2.5 hours away, from first pitch. As soon as we finish here on AFR, we're going right into the ball game and excited about that. Right now, Tennessee and Stanford are top 7, tied at 4. Stanford was up 4-0. Tennessee broke through against Quinn Matthews to put up a 4 spot, got into Stanford's bullpen, and now they are into the 7th inning with Stanford's a home team, by the way, so Tennessee's batting here in the top of the 7th. And I think if you're an LSU fan, you are pulling hard for Stanford in this game. When you look at and know what Tennessee has in its rotation, its bullpen, if you were to, now obviously we're all hoping LSU would win tonight, but if you do lose tonight, you turn around and play tomorrow against the winner of this game, and suffice to say you'd much rather see Stanford deep into their bullpen than you would Tennessee, knowing you're likely going to see Drew Beam tomorrow. They haven't. So you watch. They haven't thrown Beam out of the bullpen today.
No. They went from Dolan to Burns.
So they went to Burns. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna face Beam tomorrow. I mean, barring something unforeseen where Vitello feels like he's got to go to Beam to save his season. If Tennessee takes a lead and they don't go to Beam, he's going to pitch tomorrow. So that would be a really big challenge for LSU or any team in an elimination setting. So I would really, really, really like to see Stanford pull this thing out. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows, Windows Door Siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. Quick break. We'll come back and go around the SEC. Stay here.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Our friends over at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Offices are closed today as Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys are celebrating Juneteenth, as they noted in their social media post, commemorating the effective end of slavery in the U.S., a day which we celebrate and honor Black freedom, culture, and history. So happy Juneteenth from our friends over at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You can always follow Gordon on all of the social media platforms at GetGordon. You can go to getgordon.com to learn more, and you can always log on to gordongives.com to learn more about the charitable arm of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Again, gordongives.com. If you've been in an accident and it's not your fault, you know what to do. Go to the website, do what injured people in Louisiana have done for more than 30 years, and call Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, as Gordon can help you get what you deserve. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, Get Gordon, and getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. Get Gordon. Get it done.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
1-2 pitch to Joe Bear. Swung on high in the air to right field. There is one of them. Joe Bear goes yard. Braden Joe Bear, home run number 12, and that will make it 6-3 LSU.
Chris Blair on the call, LSU Sports Radio Network. That felt big. LSU was in cruise control, up 5-0 in the game, and of course they give up the 3 spot in the 8th, so it's 5-3 as you go to the bottom of the 8th, and so maybe you're feeling a little bit apprehensive at that moment, and then Braden Joe Bear comes back with a big bomb, and the bottom of the 8th get one of those runs back, and of course Riley Cooper closed it out. Here was Braden Joe Bear after the game as he homer, double, triple. He was a single away from the cycle, and he drilled a ball, remember, off of Andrew Lindsay's leg that would have gone to center, But for that, would have hit for the cycle. But no doubt he'll take it.
I was trying to get the ball up, stay at the bottom of the zone. That was something that I needed to improve from last weekend. And, that was the focus in BP and all the training going into the, this week. So, just sticking to my plan, following what our coaches tell us. And, it worked out positive for me.
Great game for Braden Joubert. It's also interesting to hear him say he was trying to stay up. And as much conversation as there was last week and leading into the College World Series about the power numbers, and I know Moose talked about it on Musso at the Box, and we talked about it here on AFR. Like, everyone went through all the numbers. Like, the narrative surrounding the lack of power or the lack of the ability to hit homers at Charles Schwab Field, it is a myth now. That is no longer a thing, as we have seen the power numbers increase. Since they've brought the bats back to life, they've lowered the seam on the ball, they've juiced the ball. You can hit the ball out of the park in that field. I mean, Braden Joubert is telling you his plan was to elevate the baseball. So I would fully expect that's going to be LSU's plan again today against Wake Forest. It's been their plan all year. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're aboard with us here. We'll go around the SEC in just a quick second. Love telling you about South Point Volkswagen, airline just north of Highland, and southpointvw.com. Love every day when I get behind the wheel of my Volkswagen Atlas Crossport. Just kept the third row down at all times. So you had a little extra storage room, but the Crossport was more suitable for me. Takes out the third row, got Drew's car seat in the back. Of course, got the bench seat in the middle, so I can still sit 5 in the vehicle, and I have plenty of storage space, but it's a little shorter, sleeker on the back end. Whatever your need is specifically, maybe you need that 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. Go test drive the Volkswagen Atlas at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Even the Tiguan and the Taos, more compact and SUVs and the midsize SUVs. Right now, 1.9% APR, and they have more vehicles on the way right now at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Okay, there were a bajillion commitments on a busy weekend in all sports for recruiting. So we're going to go through these, kind of just headline read and go a little quickly. Arkansas landed 4 transfers in baseball for next season. Wahiwa Aloy out of Sacramento State, Jack Wagner from Kansas, Hudson White from Texas Tech, and Ty Wilmsmeyer from Missouri.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn basketball. They added a transfer from, Auburn's Babatunde Akingbola is transferring to Georgia. Right? We thought it was just Vanderbilt.
I was about to say, is he transferring from Vanderbilt?
No, he's going from Auburn to George Washington. Okay. Auburn baseball has landed a shortstop and 3 other commitments in the transfer portal. Mason Manners and Carson Myers, along with Christian Hall, are the 3 players Auburn baseball has landed, and a commitment from long snapper J.R. Buckner for the class of 2024.
The Florida Gators.
Florida has added 4-star linebacker Aaron Childs, 4-star tight end Amir Jackson, 4-star defensive lineman Nasir Johnson, 4-star defensive lineman Amaris Williams, 3-star defensive lineman Makai Boiro, and 3-star offensive tackle Marcus Maskell. That was all over the weekend. Big. See what I mean? There was a lot. Big weekend for Billy Napier.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Basketball team has added 3-star guard Joey Hart. Kentucky baseball has added Western Kentucky transfer outfielder Ty Crittenberger. And 3 Kentucky baseball players, meanwhile, entered the transfer portal.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Mississippi State has added 3-star offensive lineman Keeson Shepard, who committed over the weekend.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
We got a bajillion. Just go. Ole Miss flipped 4-star quarterback Austin Simmons from Florida. He also reclassified to the 2023 class. Ole Miss also got a commitment from 4-star safety Travaris Banks and 3-star athlete Cameron Clark.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
But wait, there's more. Carolina loses pitching coach Justin Parker to Mississippi State. They've already replaced him with Matt Williams from Liberty. On the football side, Gamecocks add 3-star linebacker Fred Johnson, and the baseball team landed transfer pitcher Ty Good out of the College of Charleston.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
This is just too much. You know why I was like, we're just going to go quickly. 4-star athlete Boo Carter announced he's committed to the Vols. Tennessee pitcher Jacob Bimby is transferring to Western Kentucky.
Texas A&M!
Aggies have added 2 players from the portal. Ted Burton from Michigan, Zane Badmev from Tarleton State. They've also extended head basketball coach Buzz Williams through 2028.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Last but not least, Vanderbilt has added a commitment from 2024 tight end, 6'5", 260-pounder, Harrison Moore.
Boo!
Yeah, I know, right? Come on, what are we doing here? What a very normal, plain, generic name, Harrison Moore.
Should have got the guy from Auburn.
Need him to do better. Exactly. He's a basketball player, but it doesn't even matter. Get the basketball player to go play football. Why not? It's Vanderbilt. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the ULL Ragin' Cajuns. It's Gulf Coast Office Products. By the way, 1 week from today, AFR expansion. We will be live on ESPN 103.7 in Lafayette, ESPN 104.1 in Lake Charles. So, to all of our friends over at Delta Media who have helped make that possible, we've done a lot of work to go through all the logistics, the contracts, all of the engineering part of the setup. We're excited. 1 week from today, tell a friend. If you're in the 337, you will have a terrestrial radio option, 103.7 in Lafayette, 104.1 in Lake Charles. AFR will be heard all along the I-10 corridor, and we're fired up for it. So, set a button. We appreciate you for being there. Okay, it is after further review. We'll knock out our final break here of hour number 1. I do have a quick Saints tidbit. So, Tyrann Mathieu said something over the weekend to Jeff Duncan that I found pretty fascinating. So I want to get to that. Also, LSU football landed another commitment, this time for the class of 2023, like someone who's eligible this fall. We're going to get to that coming up. Is Paul Maneri going to Miami? We've got a ton, right? His head pop. You see, we've got a lot to get to, and also we're going to continue getting you ready for LSU and Wake Forest as the Tigers and the Demon Deacons. We're about a little more than 2 hours away from first pitch there in Omaha. Glad you're here on AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you every day about New Orleans flooring. From the first time I went over to New Orleans flooring, right there on Airline Highway in Prairieville, sat down with the gang over there, Terrell, Big Sean, Steve, the whole gang. I was blown away. Not only are they great people, but they also offer a great product at a great price. You know, one of the things we focus on so much is how you can save 40, 50, 60%. You hear me say it every day, buy where the pros buy. And like we've told you, even Terrio here, when the HUDCO office, we redid our office, Terrio's flip homes, when he's done some of his investment properties, they bought flooring from New Orleans Flooring. Yes, they can offer you amazing discounts because they have their product in stock. But remember, we're not talking about a decreased quality. We're talking about some of the best flooring products anywhere. They'll show you a good, better, and best option, all at a discount price. It's New Orleans Flooring. Buy where the pros buy. Go online to nolaflooring.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, rolling along here. Hour number one of the Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. I want to remind you again, our friends over at Mockler Beverage and Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, came through with another pair of tickets for tonight's game. They gave away 2 tickets to LSU, Tennessee. They're allowing us to give away 2 pair to tonight's game against Wake Forest. So if you're in Omaha or know someone who is, let them know. It's free to enter. All you have to do is text #BeatWake. Just text #BeatWake to 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. You're entered. We will randomly draw it. I know on Friday we got pinched on time at the end of the show, so we're not going to wait till 6. We're going to shut it down at the end of hour 2 and then announce the winner right at the start of hour 3, about an hour before first pitch. So you still got about an hour and 10 minutes to enter if you want to do so. So again, text #BeatWake to 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Saints last week wrapped up a mini camp. And look, candidly, there's just not a ton you take away from OTAs or minicamps. It's great for these guys to get on the field, to run around, to practice, to get a feel for your rookies, to let them get their feet wet. It's all a gradual progression, right? It's rookie minicamp, it's OTAs, it's minicamp, then training camp, as you continue to sort of ramp up toward training camp, preseason, and the season. I think you all understand that. So I'm not trying to draw some big, giant, sweeping conclusion from anything at camp. What's really notable is, okay, well, Michael Thomas was out there, so is he a little ahead of schedule? Those are the types of things. Receivers and quarterbacks can kind of start to work on their timing. A lot of that is what's sort of meaningful this time of year. But after minicamp, Tyrann Mathieu, of course, who is everyone here knows, and he's beloved and a phenomenal leader. He's also a Super Bowl champion, having won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. Tyrann Mathieu chatted with Jeff Duncan, and I saw this quote from Tyrann. And this is about Derek Carr. Tyrann said, quote, "There's just something different about this year. There's a camaraderie and a brotherhood. I think we all kind of feel it right now." He went on. Not to take anything away from Jameis or Andy Dalton, because those guys work hard, and they've had success in this league, and they are very talented. But anytime you get a quarterback like Carr, a guy that's proven for 10 years that he can get it done, I think it adds something to the team. This team believes we're probably like one of 12 teams that can go the distance. We all believe that right now, end quote. Again, this team believes we're probably like one of 12 teams that can go the distance. We all believe that right now. First of all, I don't want to be the guy that sits here and argues with Tyrann Mathieu. He is one of the greatest players we've ever seen come through Baton Rouge, one of the greatest leaders in any sport, and he's a guy that people line up behind. So I am not sitting here trying to pound the table and say Tyrann Mathieu's dead wrong. I'll tell you, I look at this from 2 points of view, and understanding that a lot of you who follow the show know that whenever the Saints signed Derek Carr, I did not love it. And it's not because I don't like Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr makes the Saints the best version of themselves in 2023. I just don't believe the ceiling is as high as Tyrann says that it is, as far as making the Saints a championship contender. I think Derek Carr and Andy Dalton, as we've gone through the numbers, are essentially the same player. They spent nearly a decade with the team that drafted them. They threw for a lot of yards, won a lot of games, made the playoffs, never were able to advance, and the team that drafted them decided they were moving on, and that essentially cut bait. Said, we've reached the pinnacle we can with you. And we saw Andy Dalton leave, and he's now on his fourth team in as many years since leaving Cincinnati. Chicago, Dallas, New Orleans, and now Carolina. I don't know that Derek Carr is on that same trajectory, but it stands to reason that could very well be the case, although not every situation is apples to apples. For what it's worth, Dennis Allen, who, of course, was very much okay with bringing Derek Carr to New Orleans as part of this. This is what Dennis Allen said this last week at minicamp.
The quarterback is the most important position on the field, and when you have a highly skilled player, a highly intelligent player, a guy that works the way that Derek does, a guy that has the type of leadership qualities that Derek has, that's going to filter throughout the whole football team, players and coaches, and I think that gives you a lot of confidence going into the season.
Here's my one major question. You heard Tyrann say it, and you heard Dennis Allen say it right there. Leadership, culture, all those sorts of things, right? Was the culture so bad in Oakland and Las Vegas with the Raiders that even Derek Carr couldn't overcome it? Follow me here. I understand that quarterbacks sometimes are in bad situations. My hands in the air. I made the argument sitting here that was the case with Jameis Winston in Tampa. It was a terrible situation. And you take him out of that situation, putting him in a better environment, let him foster and grow. Okay, well, that's a 25-year-old player. When you're a guy that's been around the league for a decade, and you've been at the same franchise for a decade, you would think you would make your indelible mark on that franchise. I'm not saying Derek Carr is, and I don't have all the context. I don't cover the Raiders day to day and know the inner workings. But I look at Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. I mean, the Bungles, they were an awful franchise. I get it. And Andy Dalton was there, and he had some level of winning, but even after that, they ended up with the number one overall pick for a reason. And that was a franchise that notoriously wouldn't spend and were losers and had bad culture and all of it. And you inject Joe Burrow, year two, they're in the Super Bowl, and now look at what the Bengals are. They're a place people want to go because they've got their guy. Can Derek Carr be that in New Orleans? If so, why wasn't he that in Oakland? I think is a fair question. Again, I'm not sitting there trying to argue with Tyrann Mathieu. He's the one who's been in locker rooms and knows what he's talking about. But I think it is fair to wonder, is it just an alpha male, ultimate competitor leader who wants to believe his team is going to be good enough to win? I hope they are. One thing's for certain is Derek Carr has won over that locker room in very, very short order. Can he continue to deliver? We'll continue to get that answer as the Saints move toward the season and ultimately through it. Okay, hour number 2. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Mold Zero USA, mold-0usa.com. You've heard me talk for months now about Mold Zero. One of the things that I would strongly encourage you to do if you've heard me say Mold Zero has a patented non-toxic dry fog treatment, you've heard me say that. You've seen the pictures. You've heard me reference, hey, go to the website. They've got the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers report. You can see pictures of their work. There's testimonial videos and all that sort of stuff. I would highly recommend that you call Jim Woodworth. Call Jim at Mold Zero and say, can you please explain this to me? And he will be able to explain at a third grade level what exactly the treatment is that Mold Zero does, why it's more cost effective, why it's more effective, why it's less invasive than traditional remediation. If you want to remove mold, kill odor, Mold Zero can help. Mold-0USA.com. That's the website. Phone number for Baton Rouge and New Orleans right at the top of the homepage. It's mold-0USA.com.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. Operator, what you put me on through? Gotta send my love down to
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. It's on to the first order of business for this NBA offseason for Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. The agent for forward Draymond Green told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski Green's declining his $27.6 million player option will enter unrestricted free agency. The move was expected. ESPN NBA front office insider Bobby Marks.
I always say this, whenever a player declines an option that's $27, $28 million, you have something in your back pocket. You're never going to leave $28 million on the table to go out searching for a deal and be stranded at the altar here. So I would say worst case scenario, and if he wants to go shop it, that he comes back on a 1-year, $28 million deal in Golden State.
Bobby Marks on Fitz and Harry. At his introductory press conference, Dunleavy told reporters Warriors feel like they have to have Draymond back if they're going to compete at the highest level. 8-time golf major champion Tom Watson sent a letter to PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan looking for answers on the tour's new partnership with Saudi backers of Live Golf. He said the questions were compounded in the hypocrisy in disregarding the moral issue.
A shorthanded summer staff calls for Indeed. Their hiring platform helps attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Jacob Beck. Need the beginning of it. Leading up to Get Crazy with the Cheese.
That's even longer than that. That's what I had at first, and I was like, let's do the one behind it. That was almost like 7 seconds with it leading in to Get Crazy with the Cheese Whiz.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. You know the old adage, if you want something right, you just do it yourself. I'll have to do it, Muse. Get Crazy with the Cheese Whiz. Jacob Beck the band, loser, Beck, Crazy with the Cheese Whiz. Yeah, that's what we're going for with the drop. But the just the Get Crazy with the Cheese Whiz is like so short and kind of muted. Do you have just the Get Crazy with the Cheese Whiz?
No, because I replaced it with that.
Well, just play that because it's basically the same thing.
It's not right, the same.
It's right at the beginning. Play it. This is the point. That was the point. Was like the Get Crazy with the Cheese Whiz gets drowned out there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll get Chuck P on it.
Okay.
Get Chuck P on it. Chuck could probably magnify, amplify that. You think so? Chuck
sure.
Chuck's like a audio editing wizard. I think he could
pretty much. Yeah.
He could amplify that and make it. We'll make it play. All right. We got it 6-4 Tennessee still.
Yeah, 6-4 Tennessee.
They're at a commercial.
I wonder if that means they pulled Burns. No, he probably just got out of the 8th inning. So they're probably going to the top of the 9th.
Okay. So Tennessee beating Stanford. Talked about a bit ago, this kind of is a worst-case scenario for LSU if you lose to Wake Forest. Because if you lose to Wake Forest today, you have to come back tomorrow and play, provided Tennessee holds on and beats Stanford here. You will have to come back tomorrow and play Tennessee, who will be throwing Drew Beam. And that's not a favorable matchup if you are LSU. To have to come back tomorrow, assuming LSU throws Floyd today, we'll see what happens if they use Hurd, if he's available tomorrow. Or hopefully LSU just goes and slugs it their way and Ty Floyd spins it's beautiful and you get a day off and you come back Wednesday and play someone who's completely depleted to punch your ticket to the championship series. But it's the thing we've talked about for really all season. LSU is not built to come out of a loser's bracket. When this World Series started on Friday, we said, I'm not worried about LSU against Tennessee on Saturday because they got Paul Skenes going. Where I would be worried about Tennessee is if LSU gets into a loser's bracket game and has to come back and face, Beam, which would happen tomorrow if LSU loses tonight. So it's massive. I mean, this is the game that you have prepared for the entire season to go win it. They just spotlighted Burns. Did they say he's thrown 5 innings? That can't be right.
Yeah, no, he did because Dolander didn't make it out of 3, or I think he was pulled in the 4th. He made it through 3. Burns started the 4th.
Okay. Wow. It's a luxury, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing Tennessee has. They've got 4 legit dudes who can eat innings for them. All right, they are top 9. Tennessee's batting top of the 9th. Balls are 3 outs away from advancing, trying to add on to their lead here. Okay, it is after further review. We're glad you're with us. And we'll talk plenty more about LSU and Stanford tonight. We got lots of college baseball for the rest of the show, and we'll get into all that. Brian Kelly and his coaching staff just continue their torrid pace. There were 3 high school commits for the class of 2024 in 4 days last week. And over the weekend, they added another player for the 2023 class, meaning eligible to play this fall. They went into the JUCO ranks and nabbed tight end Connor Gilbreth. Connor Gilbreth is he's out of Butte Community College in California, and took an official visit to LSU and committed after the visit. Here's what's really, really interesting about Connor Gilbreth. And at first glance, I was like, man, that is odd that they would add another tight end, right? I mean, a year ago, LSU was super thin. You had Mason Taylor, a 3-star true freshman. You had Cole Taylor, who, again, was really just notable for having his shoe thrown against Florida and now is transferred out. And you had Nick Storrs, who had a medical retirement from baseball, came back to play football as a tight. Like, that was your tight end group a year ago. So you've got Mason Taylor coming back, but you went and signed Mac Markway, Jackson McGowan, and McCorian Pimpton. So you added 3 tight ends for this year's class on top of having Mason Taylor back. So it didn't I'm like, God, they added another tight end. I know Brian Kelly features the tight end, but man, that is a lot of bodies at that position. And then you see this. Connor Gilbreth is 6'6", 270. He's 6'6", 270. He was an offensive tackle who is being recruited as a tight end to be a blocker. He talked to our friends over at On3, the Bengal Tiger, said, quote, I'm a full qualifier, so I have the GPA to play this year. Making the move for this season would be big because I could potentially spend 4 years at another college at the next level. So, again, coming from JUCO, he's got 3 to play 4 now at LSU, but he's eligible immediately. He visited LSU, Missouri, Arizona, Mississippi State, NC State. So he had a lot of interest, a lot of offers. But here's what he said. Talked about Coach Denbrock and wanted to use him as a blocking tight end. He said, quote, I'm excited about that. Catching is cool, but I could care less. I love blocking. I am not a tight end trying to be a receiver. He said, with every school I've talked to, my route would be play a year at tight end, develop into an offensive tackle. He said, I'm all in on the switch. It gives me a chance to block even more. So this is a situation where they're bringing in a guy who was an offensive tackle in high school, not big enough yet to be an offensive tackle in college, is at the LSU level or the major college level. But at 6'6", 270, you bring him in as an attached tight end that is a blocking tight end who's athletic enough and that you continue to grow and develop ultimately into an offensive tackle. So you have a hybrid player. What you have here is Dylan Gordon. Y'all remember Dylan Gordon? Big monster. Wasn't he out of John Curtis? Dylan Gordon was a 300-pound tight end that Les Miles used, and it was just a 6th offensive lineman. So when you look at this, I love this. Because if you were adding just another body at tight end, it wouldn't have made a lot of sense because now you're really heavy at that position where you were thin. I love the fact that now you are not predictable by personnel at tight end, right? And it's one of the things that you try to protect against. For example, when the New Orleans Saints put Taysom Hill in the game in the shotgun, we all know Taysom Hill is running the football. I mean, randomly, he'll throw a pass, which looks like a high school punt. But mostly when Taysom Hill is in the game, in the shotgun formation, he's running the ball. my goodness, when Trendon Holiday played at LSU, when you saw 8 in the slot or out wide, you knew it was coming. Here comes the jet sweep, and he's just going to try to run really fast and beat you to the edge. He was really good at it, too. But you don't become predictable by personnel when you have Connor Gilbreth in the game because he is a blocker, but you can also counterbalance Mason Taylor in the game. It makes you more versatile at that position. And this is not like Brian Kelly has done this before, by the way. As recent as 2019, he had Cole Kmet, who had 43 receptions that year. Tommy Tremble, who was also an NFL draft pick, I think of the Bears maybe, 16 catches that year. So they had 2 receiving tight ends. And then they had Brock Wright, who Brock Wright is 6'5", 270, 265, and he's just a blocking tight end, who is now, by the way, in his second year with the Detroit Lions, who are coached by Dan Campbell, who was a blocking tight end in New Orleans under Sean Payton. So this is a process we've seen Brian Kelly follow before. Mike Denbrock, of course, was with Brian Kelly for a stint at Notre Dame. So it's not altogether uncommon to have a guy at tight end who is just a blocking tight end. And, I mean, look, the Saints have done that in years past as well. If it were Josh Hill, Michael Ho'omanu-Anui, a.k.a. Who-Man, Dan Campbell. So I love it. I love the fact that you're adding another body with a clear vision to say, make him a sixth offensive lineman right now, an attached tight end that can block and loves to block, that eventually you're going to grow and develop into an offensive tackle, while right now you've got Will Campbell, Emory Jones locking down those positions, and you don't need him to be that for at least 2 years. So, and a guy that's committed to saying, man, I get 4 years at LSU, awesome. So you love what they've done here with this addition. And I'll remind you again, there is no hard cap anymore. It used to be that you could only sign 25 players, a cap of 25 players in a signing class. So you had to be really careful about taking a project player or taking too many guys at a certain position. Now you can sign as many as you want as long as you maintain 85 scholarship players. So you look at LSU football, what Brian Kelly inherited. They were so thin on numbers. They built it back up a lot last year, but they're still not to that number. So now you're getting there again, and you could take a guy like Connor Gilbreth and say, hey, give me another option as a blocking tight end this year and a guy we can grow and develop so I can make use of you now until you're ready to play offensive tackle in this offense. So really cool. Connor Gilbreth, JUCO tight end, commits to LSU, and he is eligible for 2023. Like, he will be here this summer, go through class. We were messaging a bit ago, we're going to get him on the show, but he expects to be here in Baton Rouge in July and ready to go through fall camp and play for LSU here in 2023. Okay, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. It's hot outside, y'all. I mean, you want to lower those energy bills? Install energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. A great way to invest into your home, make your home more energy efficient, lower your monthly energy bills. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, they're in the bottom of the ninth now in Omaha, Tennessee, 1 out away from eliminating Stanford. Vols up 6-4. Vols trailed 4-0 in this ball game, and ultimately they got to Quinn Matthews with a 4 spot, chased him from the game. They tacked on 2 more. So Tennessee 1 out away from eliminating Stanford and advancing to play tomorrow against the loser of LSU and Wake Forest tonight. Okay, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll run through, when this game goes final, run through some of the bracket, kind of get you caught up on the College World Series. Want to let you hear also from Wake Forest head coach Tom Walter as the Tigers and the Demon Deacons getting set to do battle tonight in Omaha. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Oh, Sunday was Father's Day. We spent the day out by the pool, which was great. But while we were sort of eating lunch before we had all gotten in the pool, the heat was oppressive. Heat index was over 100 yesterday. Temperatures in the low mid-90s, heat index well over 100. Man, if you are battling that temperature, if your AC is not keeping up, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Here's a 5-star review from Teresa Garrett, who said, excellent service. We've been using River City's 1 Hour Air since 2016, and they never disappoint. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001. Here's one from my buddy Kirk Elgin, who said, Kevin was pleasant, professional, and knowledgeable. Another 5-star Google review. Go read the reviews. They encourage you to do it because I got more than twice the amount of 5-star Google reviews of the next closest competitor. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Turn my music high, 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 high. Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Fires the 2-1 pitch. Dugas hammers this one high in the air to left field. Giving it a look is Dickey, and this ball is out of here. Gavin Dugas. Home run number 16, and the Tigers are on the board. It's 1-0 LSU.
Chris Blair on the LSU Sports Radio Network. That's how the scoring got started for the Tigers on Saturday night, with Gavin Dugas hitting a solo homer there at Charles Schwab. Here was Gavin Dugas, what he was looking for on that home run swing.
Obviously, like Braden said, just trying to get something up. Our game plan was to get balls up with the guy. I mean, he had a lot of sink, a lot of run. So the only way to be successful was to see him over the plate. And unfortunately, I was able to spit on 2 balls and then see 1 ball up. So I was lucky enough to put a good swing on a good ball and put the Tigers out in front right there.
Really cool to see Gavin Dugas have the homer, have that experience. And I'm sure many of you have noticed this by now. I'm not unique in this sense, but like Gavin Dugas and Jordan Thompson are still swapping positions every time. Every time there's a based on lefty or righty. And man, I have so much respect for Dugas. It just first of all, as a person, I mean, Gavin Dugas is he's a great dude, but I don't know that we can say this enough. Like, do you realize, like, they're in the College World Series? LSU is in the College World Series trying to play for a national championship, and your middle infielders are swapping positions every time based on if it's a left-handed or right-handed batter, because Dugas' shoulder is still not right. Now, he can swing. Clearly, he can swing, but he can't throw. But you got to keep him in the lineup, so what do? Well, you put him at second base, which is the shortest throw to first. And when there's a left-hander up, put him at short, so Thompson goes to play second, so you mitigate the opportunity for him to field a ground ball and have to make a throw. It's pretty amazing. By the way, like, the humility to do that, the willingness to do, for Thompson to switch and do whatever it takes to win. I mean, think about that. Like, this isn't Little League. It's the College World Series. But it's one of the things, there's always a few things that throughout the course of the season will resonate, will stick with you. And, you know, I remember, and I know I've referenced this a lot, so forgive me if you've heard me say this a bunch. I'm not trying to just to overstate it. But early, before this season started, I remember having conversations with some of the players, with Jay. I mentioned Jay was on the NIL podcast that I do with Pixley for Match Point. And one of the very real questions was how these veteran players were going to handle potentially taking lesser roles on a very talented team. And look at what's happened now as the season's gone along. Gavin Dugas is your starting second baseman. Braden Jobear's an everyday player. Hayden Stravinsky's an everyday player. Cade Beloso is an everyday player at DH. So all these guys have fought their way into the lineup, which is awesome. But they've also been selfless in their willingness to do whatever it takes to win. And I think that's another great example of it, what we saw this past weekend and have continued to see from Gavin and, by extension, from Jordan Thompson as well. So Tigers and Demon Deacons coming up a little more than an hour and a half from right now. I'll continue to remind you, we have, again, 2 pair of tickets for tonight's ball game. So if you're listening in Omaha or know someone who is, and you want to win them, it's courtesy of our friends at Mockler Beverage. Of course, Bud Light, official beer of AFR. Mockler has been a great supporter of LSU athletics forever and great community supporter for 4 decades, and love my friends over at Mockler, and we're so thrilled to be partnered with them. And you know, they have tickets, and they said, look, Matt, we want you to give them away to your audience. I'm like, fantastic. So if you want to win the tickets, it's easy. You don't have to buy anything. There's no fee to enter. It's just literally, we'll choose them at random at the end of this hour. We'll announce at the start of hour number 3. So 37 minutes from right now, we'll announce our winners, and we'll email you the tickets. But all you got to do is text #BeatWake. Text #BeatWake to 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. If you'd like to win the tickets, you could do so. Just text #BeatWake to 225-396-4400, and we'll announce those winners again coming up right after the top of the hour. All right. It's after further review. LSU and Wake tonight. Jay Johnson on Sunday met with reporters after his team, of course, had the day off from the College World Series, but got a light workout in. And here was Jay Johnson on Monday's opponent.
A great team, talent's exceptional, style of play is really good. They're very confident, good options on the mound, really good identity at the plate. Again, similar in the fact that we're both old teams, but it's almost like a prerequisite. You have to be an old team to be in this, still be playing at this time of year now with college baseball. They have dominated from the pitcher's mound. They've hit with a lot of power, but they know what they're doing.
By the way, we appreciate our friends at WBRZ Television for the audio there of Jay Johnson. And he's right about Wake Forest. They're a veteran team. They hit 1 through 9. As a team, they've got 130 homers, staff ERA south of 3. They're magnificent. They're a great team, and they're worthy. They've been consistent. They're worthy of being where they are. But one of the things Jay also said on Sunday about his team, sort of as a way to piggyback the conversation about Gavin Dugas and so many of these LSU players who have taken on their roles, Jay talked about this team staying within its character at the College World Series.
I was incredibly low heartbeat for the beginning of the game last night, and I was like looking out there go like, yeah, we're on top of it. I thought we had a really good plan. I think the fact that we continue to score no matter who they put in the game, felt like our hitters were on top of it. You know, Paul obviously helps you settle in and play relaxed as well. Riley came in and was under control, so I thought we were in character, and I think if they go out and they do that and just stay to the pitch in the inning we're in, we're going to give ourselves a good chance.
This game tonight is going to be it's going to be a really interesting challenge because not only is Wake Forest just a really good offensive team, and you know what you're facing on the mound as well, and the depth of the pitching staff. But one of the narratives that a lot of LSU baseball fans, just as we've gone through this season, part of the narrative has been LSU struggles against lefties. And you know my feeling on this. Sometimes you'll, not you individually, this is a plural you, we, whatever. Not pointing the finger at anybody in particular. I get it. Last Monday I was here screaming, calling out receipts, having fun with that. And I understand when I do that sometimes how it comes across and affects the way people think about other conversations we may have. But like, think back to when LSU played Iowa at Round Rock. Brody Breck got the start, and Breck just it was feast or famine. In his 3 1/3, he had 6 strikeouts, but he walked 8 batters. And then they handed the ball off to Jared Simpson, a lefty, and Simpson just annihilated LSU for 4 2/3. I watched that game on a plane coming back from Napa. I was watching on my phone on a plane, so I couldn't get away from it. I had no other option. He struck out 8 in 4 2/3. So a game like that happens, and you convince yourself sometimes that, well, LSU can't hit a lefty. And then LSU plays Arkansas, and you have to go against Hagen Smith and Hunter Holland, a couple of lefties who are really, really good, and you struggle against those guys, and so you start to build the narrative that, well, you can't hit lefties. Or maybe you were just facing a really dominant pitcher who had a fantastic day. The challenge tonight against Josh Hartle, and listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that I've watched 15 starts from Josh Hartle. I can look at his stat line. I can pull up clips on YouTube and Twitter, and I can see the stuff, and the stuff is good. He's low 90s from the left side. He's a tall dude who's 6'5". The angle is going to create issues. So, yeah, there's a challenge there. There's a very real challenge there. I heard Hunt say this earlier, though, in his show. LSU 17-5 against lefties this year. Games started by a left-hander. So maybe you convince yourself, well, LSU can't hit lefties because they struggled a couple of times against lefties, but by and large, they have had success against left-handed pitchers. So I don't know that I have any, really profound thought on this, other than to say LSU offensively is a really good team. You got the best player in college baseball in Dylan Cruz. You got Tommy White, who's going to be a first-rounder next year. You've got Trey Morgan, who's hit for over 300 for 3 years in Baton Rouge. You've got Hayden Travinsky, who's pounding the ball. Cade Beloso, who gives you really competitive at-bats and is hitting 300 and has an on-base percentage of 450. Same with Gavin Dugas. Jordan Thompson has been clutch his entire career here. Braden Joubert damn near hit for the cycle the other night. And Josh Pearson, both offensively and defensively in this postseason, has been a huge spark plug, and that offensively in the 9-hole, turning the lineup over to Cruz, White, Morgan. Like, you're awesome too. You just got to go play well tonight. And it's baseball, and it's the really quirky thing about this sport, because on a given day, you can be awesome. But on a given day, maybe you just aren't. We see big league teams get no hit. All of those are big leaguers. And sometimes it just doesn't happen for you. So, and sometimes it does. It's one of the really awesome things about postseason baseball is when you live and breathe and die on every single pitch and the anxiety surrounding all of it. And that's going to be the case tonight, because I think both teams recognize that the result tonight, by and large, dictates your opportunity to win the national championship. ESPN during the game the other night flashed the graphic where I believe it's only 5 times in the last 3 decades you've had a team go to the College World Series and win it after losing one of their first 2 games. I think it was 27 out of 32 years. The last 27 champions have won their first 2 games in Omaha. It's because the way college rosters are built are to play a 3-game weekend series, right? I mean, just follow me on this. Like, you build a roster to play a 56-game season where you play a midweek game to get guys work, and then you play your weekend series, and you have your 1, 2, 3. You're not built to play a game on a Saturday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, take Friday off, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You're just not built for that. So, yeah, it's all on the line tonight. You got the 2 best teams in baseball. We're going to get to see them go at it in one game. Of course, I would love to see Paul Skenes on the bump tonight, but it was 100% the right decision to throw him on Saturday to put yourself in this position here, to put yourself firmly in the driver's seat. So LSU and Wake Forest, we're an hour and 29 minutes away from first pitch. You'll hear it on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Of course, you'll be able to watch it on ESPN television, and we'll see if the Tigers can punch their way into the driver's seat and put Wake Forest in a whole world of hurt. Tennessee awaits the loser of tonight's game tomorrow at 6 p.m. The winner of tonight's game will have a much-deserved day off. All right, y'all. We're brought to you by Traction, TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. I'll remind you, of course, Traction summer baseball camps, full and half-day options every week throughout the summer, except for 4th of July week. They're closed for the 4th of July. But other than that, full and half-day options all throughout the summer over at Traction. And let me also remind you about Traction Elite Physical Therapy. For so many of us, when we get injured, maybe you need surgery, you need rehab, whatever that may be, you get to choose where you go for physical therapy. Your doctor can make a recommendation, but you get to choose where you go for physical therapy. Traction Elite Physical Therapy. Right there on the same campus, Traction Sports, when you walk down the main breezeway on the right is Traction Elite Physical Therapy. The same physical therapists that help these professional athletes get back in the game are the physical therapists that are going to help you get back on the golf course, back in the pool if you love to swim, back on the road if you love to jog or run, whatever it may be. Traction Elite Physical Therapy. Go to TractionSports.com to learn more, TractionSports.com to learn more about Traction Elite Physical Therapy. Remember, if you need physical therapy, choose the best. Choose Traction Elite Physical Therapy. Okay, it's after further review. We got Jimmy Ott coming up in 27 minutes from right now from Omaha. Of course, Jimmy and Charles have done a great job anchoring our coverage from Omaha. So normally we do Otter Locks, but again, Otter Locks is at the end of the show. They'll be leading right up to first pitch. So we'll get to Jimmy here in about 27 minutes. We'll get his picks for tonight. We'll talk about what the day's been like there in Omaha. We'll preview LSU and Wake Forest tonight. And then 1 hour from right now, we're going to call on a higher power. Many of you may know, of course, that Father Michael Olello was here and said a prayer when the Pels landed the number 1 pick in the draft, won the lottery to take Zion. Now, that hadn't exactly worked out the best. Maybe we should have had him pray for Zion's hamstring. That's what we'll do. We'll have him pray for Zion's hamstring as well. That's a good thought, right? We combine the power of his prayers.
What if the Pelicans trade Zion this week then?
We'll combine the power of the prayers for his hamstring.
Okay.
I'm ignoring your question. It's not that it's not a valid question. I'm just choosing to ignore it. And we'll pray for the Tigers to beat Wake tonight. Anything else we could pray for? What else could we have him pray for? While we're at it, we might as well, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll get our long list together.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So Father Olello will pray for the Tigers with us tonight in 1 hour. So prayer warriors, unite. Grab your rosary beads or whatever it is you clutch onto. We're praying for the Tigers in less than an hour from right now. Okay. Let me not get a quick break. Is Paul Maneri going to take the Miami job? I got some thoughts on that. That's next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's. Maybe if you're knocking off work, headed to the house right now, getting ready to watch the Tigers and the Demon Deacons tonight, pull on into Rouse's on your way home. If you need dinner options, Rouse's has great dinner options. They've got hot and boiled seafood options, ready to go, grab and go options. They've got prepared meals if you want sushi or dinner plates with chicken or beef, pork, fish, whatever you want. They got it for you. If you want something fresh from the meat market, the butcher, or the seafood market, they got you covered there as well, something to throw on the grill. If you need your wine or any of your liquor, if you need beer for local and craft, they got you at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Get your whole grocery list together and get over to Rouse's, or grab something for the entire family to enjoy tonight for the Tigers and the Demon Deacons. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints with more than 60 locations. Rouse's, this feels like home.
Get 3.99% financing at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, we got a starting lineup. Hat tip, Wilson Alexander. Well done. Well done. I wanted to, do you remember the first time we ever had Wilson on the show when we played that? Were you here? Was that Brain?
No, I'm pretty sure it was me.
And he was a little put off by it.
Yeah, he didn't really know he didn't know what to do with his hands at that current moment.
And he later apologized. He's like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, I so should have just gone with that and had fun. That was funny. Anyway, he was not indoctrinated to our Todd Peterson drops and our Latavius Murray drops and our Alden Cartwright drops and our Kramer Robertson drops. Yeah, Kramer.
There was a Kramer drop? That was definitely before me.
All kinds of Seinfeld drops in there. Cartwright, Kramer.
Oh, wait.
Didn't we have another one? Oh, Newman.
Newman.
Hunter Newman.
Yeah, hello, Newman.
Hello, Newman.
Yeah.
Yep, I knew there was another one in there somewhere. Anyway, all right, here's your starting lineup, courtesy Wilson Alexander. No changes to the lineup, and it will be Ty Floyd on the mound for LSU. I know there was some conversation about, do you throw Thatcher Hurd to start this ball game? I think throwing Ty Floyd, it's the thing we all assumed they would do. You're not going to change things up at this point necessarily because you won the game. Now, if you had lost and you felt like you maybe had a better matchup, then I could sort of understand it. But I think it's Ty Floyd with Thatcher Hurd at the ready. If you have to approach this ball game tonight like it's an elimination game. And while that may sound reckless, it's got to feel like that if you're Jay Johnson tonight. Because you've got to do whatever you need to do to win this game. Because if you do, then you get Wednesday or you get Tuesday off, and you get whoever throws tonight a night to recover and potentially bring it back the way you would if someone threw on a Friday. They got Saturday off and came back and gave you something on Sunday. So I would love the thought tonight of, well, what I would love the thought of is Ty Floyd going 7 innings of 1-run ball and your offense scores 14. Please give me that. Inject that into my veins tonight. But if you end up in a close ball game and Ty Floyd gives you a very serviceable start, you're in a 1-run game somewhere in the middle innings, around the 5th or the 6th inning, then I think Thatcher Hurd would be the decision there. I mean, I guess I could certainly see a circumstance where situationally, if you were in a partner lineup where maybe you'd want a lefty and you could go Ackenhausen or Cooper, that would make sense. But if your mindset is get outs, give me someone who's my best arm available, that can extend and get me outs, then yeah, I think Hurd would be your answer after Floyd tonight. And then I know that the counter argument or question would be, well, then what do you do as your next starter? I don't know. You want me to play out a hypothetical? If you went Floyd, Hurd tonight, and you got Tuesday off and played Wednesday, who would you start? I would start Riley Cooper. And does that sound crazy? I mean, I think Jay has said so many times, go with who he trusts.
No, I mean, it's not crazy to me. I think he and Javen Coleman are your only two options in that scenario.
And Coleman hasn't pitched in the postseason.
He hadn't pitched since the SEC tournament.
So I know that we've talked about the number so many times that Skip always used to say, when you get to Omaha, you're down to 6 pitchers. Well, you know who your 6 are. The only one outside of that 6 they've used is Blake Money. But again, we said like you're up 10, down 10 is when you're going to use the guys who are farther down your list. But in leverage spots where you need someone, Skenes, Floyd, Hurd, Cooper, Ackenhausen, Guidry. And then beyond that, Herring, Coleman.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing too is, like if you play Wednesday and it doesn't go your way and you're 2-0, you have Thursday, and you very likely could potentially have Paul Skenes on short rest on Thursday, if that's the route you choose in a season on the line type scenario.
Sorry, I was telling Beck to put the camera on you. Put the camera on whoever's talking. Thank you. But yeah, Skenes on 4 days rest Thursday to save your season would be I don't know that you'd see Skenes on 4 days rest throw 120 pitches.
No.
But you would have to have him in some capacity available to save your season. And if he did, I know we kind of mapped the scenario of if he threw on Thursday, could you bring him back potentially on Wednesday on 3 days rest? Boy, that just feels...
I wouldn't do that. And I don't think they would either.
I agree with you. But we did map out that scenario of a possibility. And I think, was it Ben or Todd last week who talked about the possibility of getting 3 performances in Omaha?
I believe it was Ben the first time, because that was on, when we had Ben on Monday, right after they clinched the Super Regional.
Well, I don't know what I had for lunch. Actually, I do. Yeah. I had Pluckers for lunch. I had Plucker salad. But I don't remember what we did on last Monday show. I don't remember what we did last hour. All right. So we got a starting lineup. Again, I had intended here to talk about Paul Maneri potentially taking the Miami job, or interviewing for the Miami job, but we got the lineup posted. It is Ty Floyd. And the lineup is exactly the same as we have seen throughout this entire postseason. It is Cruz, White, Morgan, Travinsky, Beloso, Dugas, Joe Bear, Thompson, Pearson. How about a 7-8-9 of Joe Bear, Thompson, Pearson?
It is. I have said this for 2 weeks now. It is the best 7 through 9 in the country. Go argue with the wall. Go argue with the wall. It is. They've hit 360 the last 4 weeks.
Oh, man.
They had 5 hits Saturday. They had half your hits. 7 through 9 had half your hits on Saturday.
Joe Bear was a single away from the cycle. He's a 7-hole guy. NBD.
I mean.
All right. Okay, let's not get a break. Muse is going to have Tigers in the pros when we come back. And Jimmy Ott here in about 15 minutes from right now. Thanks for hanging out with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by ProCharge. ProChargeEV.com. Electric vehicle charging stations for your home or your office building. Hey, look, I'll say it again. I don't care if you drive an EV. I don't care if you like EVs. It's not even the point. The point is people drive them. The manufacturers have shown you, if you're paying attention, how much more they are ramping up production of electric vehicles. And our government is committing resources to building infrastructure for electric vehicles, meaning charging stations. So if you own a business or a commercial building, you got to have charging stations. You got to do it, especially if you're within a mile of the interstate. There's a ton of state or federal monies available, and ProCharge can help you walk through that as well. But bottom line is, it's an amenity for your customers, amenity for your employees potentially. If you're maybe own an apartment complex, amenity for your tenants. If you own hotels, it's an amenity for your guests. And it's also something that could become a revenue generator for you. There are tap-to-pay options when people pull up to charge. It's ProCharge. ProChargeEV.com. ProChargeEV.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
after further review with Matt Moscona. Presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Remember, you can always text the show, 225-396-4400. Michael Oob said, yes, the good father. We absolutely need that holy intervention. Great idea. Father Michael Alello in about 40 minutes from right now. Chase L. said, could we please use all of the prayer on LSU baseball, please? No need to waste any of it on the Pels. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not mad at you. LSU's trying to win a national championship. The Pelicans are mired in whatever the funk there is. I was just thinking, honestly, since this whole thing started, the first ever prayer was back in 2019 when the Pelicans were trying to win the draft lottery, and Father Alello came on the show, prayed for them, and they won the damn draft lottery. And so it became a thing, and then he prayed for some guy to get a job, and the guy got a job. It was like we had this incredible streak. I feel like he maybe misfired at some point with something. But anyway, I was just thinking, look, I mean, maybe we can use like 95% of the prayer on LSU. Even if it's like a little 5%, like 5% of Father Alello's prayer still got to be pretty good, right? I mean, give me a little 5%.
Yeah, I mean, there's a tropical storm that's threatening to ruin my beach vacation next weekend. We could pray that that doesn't happen.
We could throw that in there.
We could throw that happen,
yeah, we could throw that in there.
That'd be
Remember,
nice.
though, if you do have any damage from a tropical storm or anything else, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Well, I don't mean to make light. Seriously, don't mean to make light, because a lot of parts of the state this weekend really were hammered. And serious, like very, very serious thoughts, prayers, best wish, everybody, especially in the northern part of the state. I know Shreveport, Bossier, that area really got hit hard. So Zachary, St. Francisville, closer down in the southern part of the state here, got hit with heavy hail, and it was, look, the weather was very bad around here this weekend. So sincerely hope everybody made it through safely. And as I always mention, if you do have any damage to property, we're more than happy to help. You know how to find us. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Especially for those folks up in North Louisiana, as we mentioned, Hudco was born in Bossier. It was born in Shreveport, Bossier. The shingles we use are Certainteed. All of the shingles, they're all made in Louisiana. The Certainteed plant in Shreveport. So Louisiana owned, Louisiana people, Louisiana products, Hudco Roofing. Most importantly, as Musso mentioned, there's I think it's tropical depression right now.
It's stormed.
It's tropical storm now.
Bert.
It's here. Storm season's here. So anyway, well, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing. If you do find yourself in need, we'd love to help. You can always email me, matt@hudcoroofing.com. Okay, Musso, Tigers and the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
I had to make sure we didn't run out of time this time.
You're starting with it.
Yeah.
I was like, where's the music going?
Can't run out of time this time on it like we did last. Paul Gervais last night for the Brooklyn Cyclones got a second hold of the season, 2 shutout innings, surrendering only 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for the former Tiger righty. The ERA now down to 1.26.
Yes.
He's doing great, but leave him with the Brooklyn Cyclones. We'll just say that. And we'll just keep it going the rest of the way here. Alex Bregman, huge night for the Astros last night. 3 for 5 for Bregman. A double and a triple. Drove in a run, scored 2 of his own, and walked. He was all over the base pass. They faced the Cincinnati Reds. Jake Fraley, back from the injured list. 2 for 4 last night. His 8th home run of the season. 3 runs driven in. Scored 1 of his own, and walked as well. Sam Burns finished 32nd in the U.S. Open, shot 3 over par in the final round, finished at 3 over par for the tournament. That is Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. Gentlemen, if she moved her body like a cyclone, you better put a ring on it. And you know where to go to get that ring. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge and all of Louisiana is going to get engaged for more than 30 years. LMFJ.com. Jimmy Ott, kickoff hour 3 next.
AFR.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Draymond Green has expressed a desire to continue his Warriors tenure, but also has emphasized the importance of fair compensation. Today, the four-time All-Star, as expected, declined his $27.6 million player option and will enter unrestricted free agency, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. New GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. told reporters Warriors feel like they have to have Draymond back to compete at the highest level. Former NBA small forward Quentin Richardson.
I just thought it was a formality, a great business move for him. I think he'll be back with the Warriors from everything that's been said and put out there, but I think absolutely it was the right move for him to make to become an unrestricted free agent so that they could just negotiate a better deal for him for longer time.
Quentin Richardson on Canty and Carlin. Chris Paul, in an interview published today by the New York Times, said he was surprised by the trade reportedly sending him from the Suns to the Wizards and has Bradley Beal heading to Phoenix. Paul also implied Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas, who's good friends with new Suns owner Matt Ishbia, was involved in that decision-making process. There is the possibility that Paul does agree to a contract buyout with Washington and becomes a free agent.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Jacob Beck. Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Let's see. We have got, again, as I mentioned, our friends at Mockler Beverage, Bud Light, great sponsors. On Friday, gave us two pair of tickets, for the LSU-Tennessee game. Said give them away on air. Did that. They reached out today, again, said we have two more pair to give away for tonight's game. So, folks, in Omaha, we picked our winners. Winners have been notified. So far, only one has gotten back to me. That is Brandon Phillips. He is in Omaha. So, Brandon, congratulations. He has already been sent 2 tickets for tonight's ball game. If the other winner doesn't reply, I'll have to pick another winner. And again, these are chosen at random. There's the names and number organizers are randomized, and they spit out the number. We each select the corresponding name. So, Brandon Phillips was first. I'm waiting on another. If we don't get it by that person to reply by this coming break, then I'll have to pick another winner so we can get some of the tickets because the game starts in 57 minutes. All right. It's after further review. Let's head to Omaha. Jimmy Ott, Charles Handegriff up there anchoring our coverage all week, courtesy of Rev Business. And the Otter joins us now from, I would assume, somewhere near Charles Schwab Field. Otter, how are you?
Just walked into the stadium. It is hot. I know the people in South Louisiana don't want to hear it, but this is by far the warmest. So the weather is hot. We'll see that affects maybe some pitchers for tonight. And also, we talked about how the new configuration of downtown stadium, Charles Schwab Field, right center field extended is toward the Missouri River. It is blowing straight in from right center.
Okay. So, how was the wind on Saturday night? How did it play?
Non-factor. This is the first day. I think it's a factor.
Okay. So yeah. Would we look for maybe more challenging fly balls for outfielders, or just a much more difficult time getting the ball out?
It's going to take a lot to get it out to right center, or maybe even right field. First game just completed. First game that was homerless. So had 14 home runs. I say 14 balls hit out of the park. I'm not counting the inside the park home run, but 14 over the fence, pace for 35, 37, but that goes down a little bit today. So, that side of the park, it's going to play much bigger than it has the previous 3 days.
Hey, Otter, I know normally you're here at the end of the show and we do Otter locks and you give us picks, but I would like your thought on the line for tonight. Wake Forest, I'm looking at DraftKings at -150, LSU at +120, and we've seen that move a bunch. If you would just kind of walk us through what's happened there with the line in Vegas.
Yeah, where we're staying at the Ameristar, yesterday we got +155. It's just made a play before we left over here.
Wow.
It was +117. So, as we've seen all season long, LSU is a very public team. I think LSU was a little bit more impressive. I know they were more impressive in their first. When we talk about recency bias and handicapping, and sometimes it's something you want to avoid. But I think that's what a lot of people had seen as well.
So is there still value for LSU at +120?
Yes, not as much, but
no, for
yes.
Sure.
And I like LSU in this spot, and I think it's going to be another another competitive game. All of them have been 5 one-run games. Tennessee, LSU, tying run at the plate in the 8th inning, and earlier today, the team that lost had a 4-0 lead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been extremely competitive. I've been leaning on taking any plus money that I got. So, yeah, +120. Yeah, I do think that's a value. Got the starting lineups if you want.
So I know that they posted it. The starting lineup it's Ty Floyd on the bump and no change at the 1 through 9, right?
That's correct.
What do you think about the decision to start Floyd?
Oh no, he's your number 2. No, without a doubt. No, there's no more strategy, gamesmanship, whatever. Once you get here, you throw your ace as soon as you can because you want him to return as soon as you can. Same thing with your number 2. You want to get him back as soon as you get him. Now, as analytic driven as Jay Johnson is, I thought he did a real good job. To me, analytics are a very important tool to prepare you for the game, but nothing trumps what's happening in the game itself. And obviously one pitch, but I thought it was a good move. We'll never know if they left Guidry in there for that time, but still, I thought it was a quick, decisive move by Jay Johnson. And look, Matt, we've seen some guys here, some managers and coaches that have been here before that have kind of make shaky moves. I mean, O'Sullivan didn't know the rules last night, so it's
Wait, for those that missed it, explain what happened last night in the Florida game.
Oh gosh, it's so many mound visits or something.
It's 7, right?
Yeah, and
6. So that was his 7th mound visit, right?
He wasted one of his key relievers, and man, the way that thing unfolded in the 8th and 9th, he knew it, and he owned it. He owned it after, but it was almost extremely costly because Oral Roberts, that they don't quit.
Meanwhile, by the way, Muse, breaking news here, literally 2 minutes ago. This just now in from Rocco's right there outside the stadium. Records meant to be broken. All-time team total, all-time overall total, Guinness Book of World Records for shots purchased by one person. LSU, I guess that's a hat tip to Todd Graves. LSU, 21,435 Jell-O shots, has broken Ole Miss's record set a year ago, and it's Monday.
What took him so long? I mean, really?
So the only way that stood a chance of not getting broken was if LSU went 2-Q, and that didn't even take the second game being played before that record went down.
Yeah, also good for LSU should they drop this one tonight, or maybe not. You may see them later, but Tennessee. But for that kid to come in and to have to throw with the 6 innings today, and he was just unbelievable. That's part of what you go through, part of the adversity you hit when you have to play that extra game. So they're down. They had to bring him in.
Absolutely.
So he was phenomenal. But we said They're probably not going to beat Skenes. They got the pitching to come out of the loser bracket. Yeah. Sometimes they go according to form, Matthew. Sometimes.
They definitely, Burns has been burned, certainly for tomorrow, but Drew Beam will be on the bump for Tennessee tomorrow, which is a giant challenge in and of itself for whoever loses this LSU-Wake Forest game. You would think the advantage shifts to Tennessee tomorrow, however it may go.
Yeah.
Otter, where...
Can you ask me,
no, go ahead, sorry.
Can you ask me how I was doing? Tennessee minus 45, Tennessee minus 1.5, plus 20, over 8.5. So we're doing pretty good.
All right, Otter, not bad. A little flight. Can we get a ding for the guy? Can we get a ding for our guy? Let's get a ding for our guy. Hey, anything else that you're playing since we got you normally for Otter Locks?
Yeah, Toronto on the run line. Berrios has been, and I'm getting my notes here as I pull up.
Okay.
Berrios has been really, really hot. The over in the Royals-Tigers game, Jordan Lyles, they're 0-15 in his 15 starts this year. But they should hit. The Tigers aren't throwing a great pitcher as well. And also the San Diego Padres. Riding them, I like this team, and, they got a really good pitcher in Waka throwing tonight as well.
I'm sorry, did you say Toronto on the run line or the money line?
Which a Toronto run line.
Toronto run line.
San Diego money line.
Got it. Hey, where are y'all tomorrow in Omaha? Y'all are switching up tomorrow, right?
We're going to try a new spot. Barrett's Barleycorn. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I've heard from time to time some LSU fans show up there, so you might end up with some familiar faces and some friendlies.
Yeah, we went there yesterday for the crawfish boil on the off day. That's kind of a tradition. The first LSU off day. It's and I think I've told you this before, but this is a lot of LSU fans for the opening session. We know how they come in on the bandwagon once they're headed to the the championship series.
Yeah.
But roughly 10 to 12,000 LSU fans in the stands on a Saturday night. That's a lot. That's a lot. So it's they're well represented. It's drawn a lot of comments from people around town.
I bet so. But nobody happier than the Omaha Chamber of Commerce to see LSU. They're in downtown Omaha right now. All right, Otter. So Barrett's Barleycorn for the show tomorrow, live at lunch with Ott and Hanny, 11 to 1 Central on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. If you're outside of Baton Rouge, you can stream it at 104.5ESPN.com or on the 104.5 ESPN app. All right, Otter. Enjoy the game tonight, man. Yeah, go ahead.
And I made sure Charlotte had direct transportation from Ameristar to the field, so he is here. He's not going to D.C. So.
Glad to know. Thank you, Otter. Enjoy the game.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, we'll see you. Hanny last week, for those that missed it, Hanny missed his connecting flight in St. Louis, had to go to D.C. and then to Omaha. Showed up at the Ameristar to do the show on Thursday night, only to be told that he could not enter the casino where they were doing the show with his luggage. So he then had to go to his room to bring his luggage and then go back to the casino. Sometimes our guy, Handy, gets a little flustered. It's been known to happen from time to time. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, we'll give you a little deeper dive into LSU and Wake when we come back. Father Michael Olello in 17 minutes to pray for the Tigers. And normally we would have Otter Locks at the end of the show, but we'll give you some picks and some final look at LSU and Wake. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Congratulations are in order for our guy, Darren James. I tell you most days here, Darren, Wall Street Journal's list of top 1,000 realtors in America. Well, the 2023 version of the list is out. And I am very pleased to say that yet again, not only is Darren James on that list of the top 1,000 realtors in America, he is in the top 100 yes again. Congratulations, ranked 54th in the country, 54th in America, the entire United States. That's number of homes sold. That's getting to the closing table and getting you on with your life. Few are better than Darren James. 335-7666, that is Darren's cell. Day or night, call or text, I guarantee you my guy's going to respond. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. Congratulations to Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, congratulations. We got our second winner. Again, many, many thanks to our friends at Mockler Beverage, Bud Light, giant LSU partners for years and years and years and years, and they stepped up to the plate big time. They had some extra tickets for the College World Series. They allowed us on Friday to give away 2 pair to the LSU-Tennessee game. Reached out to me again earlier today, said, Matt, we got a couple of pair if you want to give them away for the LSU-Wake Forest game. So I put out a call on social media earlier today for entrance. We did it the first 2 hours of the show here as well, and we got our winners. Congratulations to a couple of Tiger fans, Brandon Phillips and Jeremy Alamond. They are both in Omaha, and they are both getting a pair of tickets to tonight's ball game. Section 108, by the way. Where is that? Let's look this up. Did you look up where Section 108 is? Let's see. Let's pull this up. Let's see. Charles Schwab Field. Look up the seating chart. I would imagine they're pretty good seats, though. All right, here we go. Section 108. We Section 108. It's the section right behind the visitor dugout.
Who wants to sit there?
My goodness.
Gosh.
Oh, thank you. I got to pop up on the screen. Oh my gosh. Check this out.
Is that a view right down the third baseline right there?
No, it's the first baseline.
Is it the first baseline?
There, by the way, there is a pair of tickets for sale in that section. $727 each. So congratulations to Jeremy Allman and Brandon Phillips. Your friends at Mockler Beverage and Bud Light are sending you to sit right behind the dugout, man. That is phenomenal.
LSU's the visiting team tonight, too.
Well, of course. They're in the LSU allotment, of course. So the other night they were in, like, I think 113, but I didn't bother to look where they were, and that was right behind what was the home dugout on Saturday. So
113 is behind home plate from what I'm looking at, bro.
Maybe it was 115 or something.
Yeah.
It was something like that. It would have been right, comparable right there. So anyway, congrats, Jeremy Allman and Brandon Phillips going to the game with rocking seats, man. It pays to listen to AFR sometimes. It pays to be on my text line. So, but anyway, real sincerely, thanks to Chris and Mary and all the great folks over at Mockler Beverage. It's been great community partners. They do right by others when they can, and what an awesome thing to do. They were sitting on some extra tickets that Matt give them away to some fans who are in Omaha and let them go enjoy the game and sit right behind the dugout. How you feel about that, Muse?
Good seats.
Well, no, that you're here and you're not.
Oh. No, I'm okay.
Okay. That's Matthew
I'm
Muse.
fine.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the
man. I'm fine.
Engage in conversation on a talk show, but don't worry about it.
I was doing that.
You said I'm fine.
You asked me how I felt. I said I'm fine. That's a perfectly acceptable response to that.
Thank you, Muse. Okay, it's after further review. LSU and Wake Forest, we are 39 minutes away from first pitch between the Tigers and the Demon Deacons. Here was Tom Walter, the Wake Forest head coach, on Saturday after the Demon Deacons beat Stanford in a game where they found themselves with Rhett Lauder, their ace, the long-haired ace, on the bump, in a little bit of a pickle. But Wake Forest ended up coming back and pulling it out late in that ball game, a series of one-run games throughout the entire opening round of the College World Series. Here's what Tom Walter said about his team that opening day in the College World Series.
It's a great win for our team. I'm just really proud of our guys. I told them after the game, if you're going to have a chance to win this game, you probably need to win a game where you don't play very well. And I felt like we were tight early and nervous and, kind of got out of our plan offensively. Didn't have great at-bats really for the first 7 innings. Did just enough. Rhett Lauder didn't have his great stuff. He's been battling, a little virus here for the last couple of days. And great team win. Really proud of the guys.
The first part of that where he kind of mentioned the nerves getting the best of him. That is one of the things about this tournament in particular that we talk about a lot here, because when LSU hosts postseason baseball at the box, we have just seen it. We've seen teams come to the box and get swallowed up by the environment. It's not every team. We saw Stony Brook come here and win a super regional. We saw Coastal Carolina come here and win a super regional. So it's not necessarily the fact that you're a small school or whatever it may be. The moment sometimes does swallow up individual teams or individual players or teams. And maybe that did happen to Wake Forest. Early, if you were not here in hour number 1, Skip Foreman, who covers Wake Forest for the Greensboro News and Record, spoke to that a little bit. And it's one thing for me to say it, not watching this team and following this team every single day. It's another for a guy that is a beat writer that follows this team every day. And he said, look, the thing about, I'm paraphrasing, but the thing about Saturday and the thing about this team is that they haven't really been pushed. They haven't found themselves down in late game scenarios. They've only lost 10 times. They're 53-10. I mean, they're 53-10. They lost the championship game of the ACC tournament to Miami, 7-2. But they swept through their regional, and they beat Alabama in their super regional 5-4. And then they blew them out 22-5 the next day. In that first game against Alabama, they did have to come back. But, this is a game where I would assume the biggest key is going to be for LSU in both respects. Score early and don't let them score early. Some of this sounds so elementary. I know it's stupid, but I'm leaning on the guy that's watched Wake Forest every single game this year, and the challenge has been for teams sometimes Wake Forest will jump on you early and teams can't get up off the mat against a very good pitching staff. Think of it in terms of how we view LSU when Paul Skenes is on the mound. If you give Paul Skenes an early 2, 3, 4 run lead, you feel like you're in cruise control. So the flip side of that would also be true. If you're LSU and you can get Hartle out of the game and you can get into their bullpen while they are very deep and talented and have a bevy of arms, the deeper and deeper you go into the bullpen, the more you can make them use arms. You're bound to run into somebody who's having an off day. We saw that enough this year with LSU's bullpen. So let's see how this game goes early on. The Tigers are the visitor tonight, the visiting team tonight. So LSU will bat first and will have an opportunity to draw first blood against Hartle. You know, 6'5" lefty who's going to throw low 90s, 91, 92 with the fastball, who has good stuff. And it'll be a challenge for these LSU hitters tonight against Wake Forest there at Charles Schwab Field, with first pitch, again, 34 minutes away from right now. We got Father Michael Alello coming up in just a few minutes. We're going to ask the good Padre to pray for these Tigers as they go to battle there at the Schwab. Let me remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. With 30 different offices across 11 different states, you know where to find them. Michelli Weighing and Measurement. And when I tell you all the time about how Michelli will service the products you use to weigh and measure, they sell, service, and rent the products that you use to weigh and measure. Really, with Michelli, there's so much more, and it's about making you efficient and more profitable. Turnaround time is so important. For example, some of the devices they calibrate will take 7 to 10 days. Other companies are taking 8 to 10 weeks. Why would you take your device, pack it, ship it to a calibration lab in another state, let it be there for weeks, have them have to pack it and ship it back to you, when with Michelli, they could literally have a rep drive by your facility, collect your calibration, your devices, bring them back, calibrate them, and then return them to you. It's all about efficiency, making you more efficient. The on-site calibration is available. Sometimes you have equipment that can't leave or you don't want to leave your facility. You know Michelli can help. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. They offer ISO 17025 accreditation, and they are always looking for technicians. They are growing and in need of people. So you can get to the website at Michelli.com, hit the careers tab, Michelli.com. That's Michelli.com for Michelli Weighing and Measurement. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Again, congrats to our winners of the tickets, Brandon Phillips and Jeremy Alamon. Excited to see the Tigers get out there tonight and hopefully get a nice win against Wake Forest, push themselves into the winner's bracket, through the winner's bracket, take a day off tomorrow and come back and play on Wednesday. If you're following the bracket, the College World Series, the way that it'll set up is if whoever loses this game tonight between LSU and Wake Forest will play Tennessee tomorrow night, same slot, 6 o'clock Central Time. The winner of tonight's ball game has tomorrow off, and they'll wait Wednesday to play the winner of tomorrow's elimination game. Hopefully all that makes sense. Bottom line is, Tigers win tonight, they're off till Wednesday. Tigers lose tonight, they play tomorrow night again to save their season. And we'll be here talking about it all. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back. I want to stay on time for the good Padre. Father Michael Alello will be with us. We will all join in unison in prayer for the Tigers tonight as they go against the number one team in the country, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Stick around with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, if you were thinking about a business lunch tomorrow or any day this week, let me recommend Tallulah inside of the Renaissance Hotel. The Renaissance Hotel right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. Tallulah is not just a hotel restaurant. It is a casual upscale dining experience. Get the pork chop, trust me. Or maybe you want something lighter. Their hamburger is a lunch special, is a gourmet burger you can get for $10. So you can eat affordably and great at Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel. The hotel itself is a AAA 4-diamond gem with a huge amount of suites and such large meeting space. So if you have a need for a boardroom for a dozen people, or you need meeting space for 500 people, they can accommodate you at the Renaissance Hotel. Right there on Bluebonnet near I-10. Of course, Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel as well. Check it out, Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We began this journey back in February. We were still calling it the Icebox at that time. Our friend Muse was freezing his T-Heine off, sitting on a metal bleacher down the third base line. Wind whipping off the river, right in his face. A masochist. He just couldn't turn away. And we wandered through battles against Western Michigan. A record number of run rules, and Muse owes me 5 steak dinners.
Not true.
They went to Round Rock, back around to play Central Connecticut State, a full slate of conference games. The weather got warm. We've watched Paul Skenes dazzle us. We've watched the bullpen confound us. We have watched balls fly out of every yard, hither and thither. The Tigers ranked number 1. We've watched fans on Twitter and such crush this team. Of course, I kept all the receipts. All to get to this moment. After wailing and gnashing of teeth, starting Paul Skenes against Tulane, still a stupid decision. Worrying about playing Kentucky for a second time, still crushed them. Landing at the final destination there in Omaha, only to stare the Vols in the face once again and pimp slap them. But now the biggest test yet. This months-long journey has led us to this moment, where LSU will play Wake Forest, the 2 unquestioned best teams in college baseball this year. To go 2-0 and to sit in the catbird seat at the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. Win, and you can all but punch your ticket to the championship series. Lose, your season is destined to end in bitter disappointment. Today, it's not enough. Today, it's not enough. I was going to say not so much. It's not enough to just hope that the Tigers get it done. Nay, we must pray. So we welcome aboard Father Michael Olello, he who once helped the Pelicans land Zion Williamson and some other guy get a job, to pray for these Tigers tonight. Father, thank you for the time. How are you?
Doing well, Matthew. How about yourself?
I'm not really interested in how you're doing. I just thought I'd be pleasant. Let's just get this prayer on and let's get this win.
Look, it's the same feeling. At least I can speak clearly, unlike you tonight.
I was doing that off the cuff, and I think I did pretty well, to be honest with you.
I mean, I must say it was quite the over-dramatic build-up, but I appreciate it.
It would have been better if my producer would give me some kind of music bed, dramatic music bed underneath it.
You know, I'm just glad we're not hearing the monks chanting in the background yet. But give it time. Give it time. I know it'll be there any moment now. Just give it time. Oh, boy, something.
That's your cue. Play it.
No, don't. Please, let's not. Oh, goodness.
There we go.
There it is.
Can you give us the history behind the Gregorian chants?
Sure. It's called google.com Gregorian chant.
Yeah, that's not nearly. That. Yeah, nobody's going to do that. It would just be way better if you just told us.
I'd much rather tell you about how the Tigers are going to win tonight.
Yeah!
So we can all relax tomorrow.
Oh man, God, from your mouth to God's ears, you have that power, don't you?
You know, I'm just going to tell you, I was having lunch yesterday after church with a family.
Okay.
They have 3 little ones. Their littlest refers to me as God. Their second littlest refers to me as Jesus. And so the number 2 turns to me in the middle of our meal yesterday and says, "So is Mary at home cooking you dinner?" And
damn right where she should be.
In me not to just lose it at the
looking out for
table.
lightning bolts.
Yeah. You just called down the afternoon thunderstorm. Thank you. There will be hail. There goes Hutko again. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes, hey, if you've had hail, give us a shout at Hutko. We'd love to give you that free no obligation roofing inspection. Hutko Roofing and HutkoRoofing.com.
I would need Hutko to come sponsor some roofing at STM. I'm just saying.
Do y'all need a roof? We'd be happy to help.
I don't think we do. I think we just fixed one, but it's all right.
Hey!
Hey, you don't do the kind of roof I need. It's all good.
Yeah, we do. What are you talking about?
Oh.
We can literally do any kind of roof.
Oh, people are thinking to themselves, we'd gone a few months without these 2 idiots getting together on the radio, but here we are again.
Months? Hey, look, as long as it leads the Tigers to a win, everyone's on board with it.
I just got to tell you, your people have been asking.
Yeah.
I've had numerous weddings lately, and every wedding, inevitably, somebody comes up and says, "Hey, time to get back on the Skenes show." And I'm like, "Hey, talk to the man. You got to tell him."
Congratulations. You're hanging on to my coattails like you've been doing since we were in high school. I mean,
you mean when I was your boss at 2 different places of employment? Yeah. I still have the picture of you in the tie-dye shirt. Okay.
By the way, the place that you used to manage is now closed. It's been closed for years.
Both of them, actually. Yeah.
Well, both of them. There you go. You left an indelible impact. Let's hope you don't do it to the Catholic Church as well.
Wow. Well, we did have that one parish that I was pastor of, but hey,
it's closed. Wait, you were pastor of a parish that's now closed?
Yeah, St. Louis. We merged with St. Thomas More. Remember?
I forgot that you were at St. Louis. Everywhere you go, look at what happens to you everywhere you go. What is your problem? How did I not ever see this before? Clearly.
Don't say that to my friends at STM right now. They might get a little nervous, okay? Everything's great at St. Thomas More. We have a wonderful school. Send your children. Come worship with us on the weekends. It's all good.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. I can hear it. My phone's about to ring, and it's going to say Bishop on it. We'll just tap him into the phone call. We can pray together. It'll be beautiful.
Is his prayers better than yours? Like, are his more powerful than yours? Because I would welcome that.
I know you would, but I'm just saying, don't think he's a big sports guy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know the bishop.
Well,
I don't know if he's a sports guy.
I can set you up. He likes food. He's a big foodie.
I like food too.
So, I know you do. He's good Italian as well.
Whiskey? Does he like whiskey?
Fella. He's not a whiskey guy. I think he's more of a wine guy.
I'm good with that. I'm good with wine as well.
I know. You're not a very picky beverage consumer.
No, No, like pretty much anything. The same with food too. I'll try most anything.
Yeah. Well, it's any day. Let's go. It's time for a meal. About time you pay me for a meal. Pay me for a meal. Take me to a meal. What? Yeah.
Are you talking? Are we going to pray? You better not screw up this prayer. If you screw up this prayer and we lose, I'm going to be so pissed at you. I'm going to tell everybody not to go to St. Thomas more.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
Let's just remember the prayer is for the good of the team, not for your edification.
Well, the good of the team is them winning, and that is my edification. So that's what I want here, okay? Because if they win, they continue to play. That's good for the radio show. That's good for ratings. It's good for sponsors. It's good for my content. It's good for my sanity. It's good for all that stuff. Yes.
But if they were not to succeed today, it's not done. I mean, there's still opportunity. Some people take the jagged road. Some people just don't take the straight route. So, I mean, you're familiar with that. Your life has been more than a straight line to where you are today.
That's true.
It's been quite the mess of twists and turns and falling off of cliffs and ended up in ditches. But, I mean, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Tigers successfully getting to the finish here.
Feels like you were trying to take a shot.
I wasn't trying. I did. I just right across the bow, baby. We could get rid of that stupid Gregorian chant in the back. We could get some good sound effects going here every time we drop a bomb on you. But no, you people working the board, same stuff every time.
Yeah, trust me. I've been trying to get this guy to shake things up for years. He just sits over there and pops gummies and what all day.
Never mind.
He's high as a kite right now. There's not much chance of getting him to do anything else.
No, just use the same picture, use the same music. It's easy. Hey, it's easy. Love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking tonight? What are you thinking?
Pretty standard and boring, kind of like your homilies.
Whoa, not even accurate. Not even accurate. This past weekend, for the record, I managed to work in abandoned puppies, abandoned historic homes, and the abandoned trailer that became a social media phenomenon down between Houma and Thibodeau.
I don't know. It sounds like you're being a try-hard. Nobody likes to try-hard.
Not at all. The people love it. Did you see the trailer story? It's complete crazy.
No, but now we're running out of time. So you got to get this prayer in, and you got to do it good, too. Because if you screw up this prayer, I'm blaming the loss on you, and you're never coming back.
Well, this is the story of my life with you. You always blame me for all of your failings.
When you deserve blame, you get it. This would be your fault.
I'm not sure that's how that works, but okay.
All right, we're going to pray or what?
Yeah, you tell me. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
You got your prayer hands?
All right. Got them. Open the church. Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open the doors. See all. How's it go, Muse? Here's the church.
That was it. You nailed
Here's the steeple. Open the doors and see all.
There's all the people, yeah.
I don't think I did that right. I definitely messed it up.
It's not see all the people, isn't it? Is it just and here are the people?
I don't know.
There's the
see all the people?
Here's the church. Here's the steeple.
Yeah.
Open the doors and see all the people. Or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, go ahead.
Somebody's going to correct us on Twitter.
There
all
we
right,
go.
Well, so let's do what we got to do. Let's calm down. I need you to calm down, wipe the sweat from your bald head, and let's just kind of center ourselves. Those folks in the car, remember that an extra 5 minutes doesn't matter. Don't yell at the person in front of you right now. And let's just focus on what's important.
That is me.
Let's pray. Let's pray for the wind to be on our side tonight.
Yes.
Let's pray for the heat to calm a little bit. We don't want Ty to get any cramps,
Yep.
Let's pray tonight that the bats are alive, like your hair sales used to be on top of your head years ago. And let's pray for the Tigers. Let's just get it done. Let's get it done early and quick and be done with this, so we can all rest easy tonight, and so we can rest tomorrow and be ready to roll on Wednesday. So that's our prayer tonight. Our prayer is for good weather to benefit the Tigers. We're going to pray for the fans to be loud and obnoxious, and with the number of jello shots consumed, that should not be a problem. And let's just pray. Let's pray for a good time tonight, and let the Tigers just get out there, be relaxed yet focused, be swift yet on target, and let's have a great game. Amen.
Amen. You know, it's really weird. Normally, you do some stupid stuff like God, let the best thing happen, whatever needs to happen in the world, so we can be in. Today you went like, we're winning this thing. You even prayed for the wind and the people who are drunk on Jell-O shots to be obnoxious. That's the kind of prayer I like.
Well, sometimes you just feel it. You got to go with where the Spirit leads. So you just go with it, and, we'll see where we're sitting in a little while.
If that's where the Spirit was leading you, I love that Spirit.
Well, it's about time. It's about time. I mean,
like Lizzo said, it's about damn time. In a minute, I'm going to need a woman pump me up. In a minute.
You did. You man it. If I'd have known we were bringing Lizzo into this today, I could have thrown that into the prayer in a heartbeat. But you didn't give me the heads up.
Well, I didn't know.
I didn't either.
You think I planned this? The first time I've ever brought up Lizzo on this show.
She got some tunes. Have you heard the birthday song?
No. I just heard the In a Minute song because it was on TikTok, and then Erica buys every song she hears on TikTok. So whenever she's driving, she plugs it into the speakers, and so then we're listening to.
Who buys music anymore?
My wife.
Does that?
My wife buys everything. She buys all the things all the time.
Listen to it for free online and stuff, right?
Do you know why I work as many jobs and all the time I do? Because my wife buys all the things in the world.
I'm gonna have to call her, and we're gonna have to talk about this. This is very early 2000s buying music, and it's been dead for a while.
That would be great.
Yeah. But you need to go listen to the birthday song. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
I'll do that. Is it a sin to lie to a priest? Because I just did. All right, thanks. That's Michael Alello. All right, St. Thomas More. Go get your praise on, your worship on. Give him some money. Tell him make sure the next time he needs a roof, he calls HUDCO. We'd appreciate all that. All right.
Amen.
Oh, amen. Thank you. All right, we'll talk to you later. See ya.
Go Tigers.
All right, go Tigers. It is after further review. We'll knock out our final break. Wrap up next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. I am getting inundated by people asking about the mosquito thing. And rightfully so. The Aeon mosquito barrier. Just go to Clegg's. If you can't remember the name of it, that's fine. Just go to Clegg's and say, where's the mosquito thing that Moscona talks about? They will know what I'm talking about. They have like an end cap, like a display, a big cardboard display. They come in a box. It's a rectangular box. There's 2 tubes in there with granules. You fill it up to the fill line. You shake it up, hang it on your property line. You are done with mosquitoes 90 days at a time. We have a pool and water behind our house. We should always have mosquitoes. We have none, and that is the only mosquito treatment that I use. It's remarkable. You can get them at Clegg's Nursery. Of course, full greenhouses, anything you'd find at a True Value hardware store. Go see our friends today at Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch. After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Normally we wrap up every show with Otter Locks. Of course, Otter and Hanny are in Omaha. They're at Schwab Field for the game, which starts in 8 minutes. So Jimmy was with us earlier this hour. Jimmy did give out LSU. He liked LSU on the money line tonight, plus 120. Also gave out Toronto on the run line, the Blue Jays, of course. The Padres on the money line. He liked the over in the Kansas City-Detroit game. So 4 picks from the Otter tonight, including LSU. Muse, you'll have a Musso at the box tomorrow morning, recapping this game?
Absolutely, and previewing whatever's next. I mean, we'll know by then. We won't know who they're – if they win, we won't know who they're playing, but, we'll know the destination and things of that nature. So, yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Let me get your thoughts in a second. Want to quickly remind everyone about the Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake Williamson and the gang do awesome work over there. I know I say it every single day, but it is so rare in life that you can do something that changes your life. Giving yourself the gift of sight can and will change your life. It did for me. And I for a lot of years, I put off LASIK despite hearing people say best money I ever spent, best decision I ever made. I took that leap. September will be 5 years. I am still seeing better than 2020. All I can do is push you to just go for the consultation. I can't make you do it, but when you sit down with Dr. Blake Williamson, I'm confident you're going to have the same experience I did. 924-2020. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020. or WilliamsonEye.com. That's Williamson, EYE.com. All right, Tigers and Wake. Muse, give me your thoughts.
Well, first of all, man, I'm fired up for it. Two teams that are just, I think, very evenly matched and similar in a lot of ways. Wake's obviously got the advantage on the mound. I lean heavy to pitching in matchups, but, man, you look at LSU, and they have gotten to every single pitcher they have faced this year at some point, not named Hunter Holland and Hagen Smith. I think it's a close game. I think both lineups eventually break through, but I will take LSU 7-6 tonight in this game.
Okay. Well, higher scoring game. By the way, I need to text the other pair of tickets to this fella. I just realized,
hurry, you got 5 minutes to get in there, sir.
I know. I need to do that right now. So, can you give me another 30 seconds?
Sure, yeah. No, I can absolutely.
I would love that. Please do.
I mean, everyone's looked forward to this. You've mentioned it a bunch, that everyone's looked forward to this matchup throughout. And I think most people, for the majority of the year, thought we'd see it in the championship series, right? Because it seemed like Wake or LSU were destined to be the 1 and 2 national seeds in some order for the majority of this year, and they'd meet in a collision course there. I'm actually happy it's happening now, because I think this is the closest they can be to full strength without playing basically in the regular season. They have everyone available except their ace, each team. So, I mean, there's really no skirting around it, the outcome of tonight's game. You're going to get a very evenly matched, a very good, true representation of these two teams playing each other. So, settle in, man. Look, if you love college baseball, this is a great night for the sport, or at least it should be. On that stage, in that stadium, with that crowd from each side and two immensely talented teams, fired up for it. I think it's going to be awesome. I really do.
And thank goodness we do not have to worry about weather.
Yeah.
At all. Okay. I got to get this guy these tickets. Ha! Jeremy Alamon, your tickets are coming. I swear your tickets are coming. All right. Muse, Beck, I appreciate y'all. Have an awesome night. Go Tigers. We're back tomorrow recapping the game. Stick around.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, let me remind you about the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffery in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. It is still June for another 11 days, which means you have 11 more days to take advantage of 2 great June specials. Number 1, laser hair removal. Buy 4 treatments, get 2 free at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. You want to be done with shoulder, back hair forever. Ladies, you want to never have to shave your legs again? Huh? Buy 4 treatments, get 2 free all this month at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, and introductory pricing for hormone replacement therapy. Discounts on your initial blood labs. It's there at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. If you want to look and feel your best, feel like your younger self, you can do it. They can help. Learn more online at theantiagingclinics.com.
There it is, the extra mile on the border of expected